Beluga. Huso, the largest freshwater fish capable of producing caviar and the source of the most expensive food product traded by weight in the world. Beluga sturgeon in the Caspian Sea can live for over 100 years and reach lengths of 5 meters. The eggs are large, 3 to 4 millimeters in diameter, pale gray to black, with a thin membrane and a buttery, oceanic flavor that no other sturgeon produces. The United States effectively banned the import of wild Caspian beluga caviar in 2005 after the beluga sturgeon was listed as a threatened species, following a population collapse of over 90% from overfishing and habitat destruction. Any beluga caviar sold in the United States today comes from aquaculture operations, primarily in Italy, Germany, and Bulgaria, using huso raised in tanks. The species is the same. The fish has never seen the Caspian Sea. Most menus do not mention this. Ossetra, also spelled Ossetra, comes from Ottopenser gueldensteiti, a mid-sized sturgeon native to the Caspian and Black Sea basins. The eggs are medium, 2.5 to 3 millimeters, ranging from dark brown to gold, with a nutty, complex flavor that many specialists consider more interesting than beluga. The price reflects a lower position in the traditional hierarchy, but the quality argument is genuinely contested. The problem with Ossetra is the name. It has no legal protection in most countries. Any producer from any country using any species of sturgeon can label their product Ossetra, Iranian Ossetra, Russian Ossetra, Chinese Ossetra, Israeli Ossetra. None of these names guarantee species origin or quality standard. What is sold as Ossetra is frequently a different species entirely. The name is a marketing category, not a biological or geographical guarantee. Lumpfish. Lumpfish roe comes from Cyclopterus lumpus, a cold water fish found in the North Atlantic, and is the product that introduced most of the Western world to the concept of caviar. The eggs are naturally pink to orange before processing. They are dyed black or red, heavily salted, and sold in small glass jars at supermarket prices that bear no relationship to any other product in this video. The flavor is aggressively saline, the texture artificially firm from processing, and the resemblance to true sturgeon caviar is visual only. Lumpfish roe is not a substitute for caviar. It is a different product that borrowed the presentation of caviar to access its market positioning. Millions of people who believe they have eaten caviar have eaten lumpfish roe. It is not caviar. It is the reason most people think they don't like caviar. They have never tried it. Sevruga. Sevruga comes from Accipenser stellatus, the Sterlet sturgeon, one of the smallest commercial sturgeon species in the Caspian region. The eggs are correspondingly small, approximately 2 millimeters, dark gray to black, with an intensely saline, mineral flavor more pronounced than either beluga or Ossetra. Sevruga was historically the most consumed of the 3 classic Caspian caviars, because the Sterlet sturgeon matured faster and was more abundant than the larger species. The flavor intensity was its defining characteristic, the caviar for people who want caviar to taste unmistakably of what it is. Wild Sevruga is now critically endangered. Commercial wild harvest has effectively ceased. Farm Sevruga production exists, but at significantly lower volumes than Ossetra or Siberian operations. It is the least discussed of the 3 classic Caspian caviars. It is not the least interesting. Kaluga, Huso dauricus, is the largest freshwater fish in the world after its close relative, the beluga sturgeon. It is native to the Amur River basin on the border between Russia and China. The eggs are large, comparable to beluga, pale gray to olive, with a creamy, buttery flavor profile that most specialists rank as the closest available alternative to true Caspian beluga. When the United States banned beluga imports in 2005, Kaluga farming operations in China expanded significantly to fill the commercial gap. China is now the dominant producer of Kaluga caviar globally. The fish is raised in freshwater aquaculture facilities in Heilongjiang province, the same river system it was native to in the wild. The product is real. The label says Kaluga. The country of origin is China. Most menus omit the second part. Siberian. Accipenser bayeri, the Siberian sturgeon, is the most farmed sturgeon species in the world. It matures faster than most commercial sturgeon, tolerates a wider range of aquaculture conditions, and produces eggs reliably from farms across Europe, Asia, and North America. The majority of caviar sold globally, in restaurants, in specialty retailers, at every price point below beluga and Ossetra, comes from Siberian sturgeon. This is almost never disclosed. Menus describe caviar by grade, flavor profile, and color. They rarely specify species. A tin labeled premium caviar at a respected retailer is, in most cases, Siberian sturgeon from a European farm. The product is genuine caviar. The species is not glamorous. The industry has decided that Accipenser bayeri is not a selling point. The omission is not accidental. Salmon Roe, called Ikura in Japanese, is the largest egg produced by any commercially harvested fish, ranging from 4 to 7 millimeters in diameter depending on species. The membrane is thick and produces a pronounced pop when bitten, releasing a burst of saline, oceanic flavor, and the oils that give it a characteristic richness. In Japan, Ikura is a premium sushi ingredient, priced and presented accordingly, sourced from specific salmon species and fishing regions with the same attention given to Ossetra or Sevruga. In the West, Salmon Roe occupies an entirely different commercial position. A cheap substitute, a garnish, an afterthought on a smoked salmon plate. The product is identical, the cultural framing is not. One market understands what it is, the other has not decided. Sterlet. Sterlet, Accupenser ruthinus, is the smallest sturgeon species native to the rivers of Russia and Eastern Europe. It produces small, dark, intensely flavored eggs with a sharper, more assertive profile than the larger Caspian species. For most of its history, Sterlet caviar was not a commercial product, it was a royal one. The Tsars of Russia reserved it exclusively for court consumption. The Habsburg emperors of Austria-Hungary maintained a similar exclusivity. Access to Sterlet caviar was a function of rank, not wealth. It could not be purchased because it was not sold. The Russian Revolution ended court exclusivity. Soviet industrial fishing then nearly ended the species. Wild sterlet populations in most native rivers are now so depleted that commercial harvest is prohibited. It is the only caviar in this video that was once reserved for emperors and is now almost impossible to find regardless of price. Hackleback. The hackleback, Scaphorhynchus platorhynchus, is a small freshwater sturgeon native to the Missouri and Mississippi river systems. It is one of the few sturgeon species still legally available from wild harvest in the United States. The eggs are small, 2 to 2.5 millimeters, jet black, with a firm texture and a distinctly earthy, nutty flavor that draws frequent comparison to the classic Caspian profile at a fraction of the price. Hackleback has never been successfully farmed at commercial scale. Every tin sold was caught wild from regulated river fisheries. Total annual production is small enough that hackleback caviar remains almost entirely unknown outside of specialty retailers and a small community of American caviar buyers. It is the most affordable true sturgeon caviar available. Almost no restaurant puts it on the menu. Almost no customer knows to ask.